Windscale, the pride of Britain. Nestled in the picturesque Lake District, the state-of-the-art atom plant has transformed this rugged landscape into the envy of its northern neighbors. Scientific progress waits for no one, and
the public has nothing to fear.
The area will be reopened by Christmas at the latest.
The situation is more complex than was at first understood.
No military expeditions into the area have been lost. Where did you get such an idea?
Perhaps by next Christmas. No! No more reconnaissance flights! The interference field is bringing down aircraft like clay pigeons!
Let me be clear. Our experts are monitoring the situation, and I would urge everyone to remain calm. The situation in Cumberland is well in hand.
Is anybody there? I need help. Who are you? What are you doing in here? I thought this place was secure. Where's Dr. Powell? I think I'll be all right. For the moment, at least. It's more important that you listen to me. I don't know who you are, but I could trust you more than I can trust myself. Please listen. Listen, or my thoughts are still my own. You're trapped in the quarantine zone around the Windscale atom plant. That's where it all went wrong. The only way to Windscale is through the interchange. You'll need my key card, or you'll never get in. There are people, people who will help you escape, but they won't do it for free. I've lost so much blood. I can't think straight. There should be supplies nearby. Alcohol and rest. Stop the bleeding, please. Hurry, please. It hurts like the devil. Such a stupid, careless mistake. Was ambushed by one of those bloody thieves. Outlaws, they call themselves. Probably got Dr. Powell, too. I was meant to break the quarantine. I wouldn't survive in there now. The plan is starting to feel unimportant. Please, a bandage. Please help me. Thank you. Delaying the inevitable, I'm afraid. But at least I can think more clearly now. Here's my key card. It will get you out of here and into the interchange. It doesn't matter what else happens. As long as the truth of this place gets out. Here are my notes. Everything I remember. It's not much, but it's all I can do. Now listen. There's still every chance that something bad may happen to me, and you shouldn't be here when it does. If I can ever repay you for helping me, I will. But for your own safety, you should go. Leave me. Go now. It's rare to find anyone who has the slightest spark of kindness in this place. It may help you to survive. I hope so. Be on your guard out there. Everything is a threat.
Quarantine protocol is in effect. This door must remain sealed. Emergency access has been granted.
Oi, Muffin! Are you in here? Where did you scurry away to, eh? Now, no point in hiding, chum. I'm between you and the exit. Off with you, or you'll regret it. Hello, stranger. Not seen you around this stretch before. How do? Where did you come from, then? Say, you do look a little the worse for wear. You've got luck on your side, not getting snatched out by something foul while you were dozing. Listen, if you don't mind my saying, you don't look much like a local. You didn't walk in from, well, from the outside. You what? Boffins all died when their atom plant went up in flames. Not seen any of them for 5 years. Only outlaws and loons round here now. And you'll want to give them all a wide berth. You poor bugger. You can't remember nought, can you? This place? The quarantine zone. That's what the soldiers called it. Just sort of stuck after a while. It's this big old chunk of land inside the walls. They put those buggers up fast enough when it all went to clagging here. My name's Nat, by the way. Forgive me being curious of strangers. This place been off for years. There've been strange happenings. You have to be careful who you trust. Not civilized round here anymore, just savages that roam about. And a few survivors, like myself. Things have been bad ever since the government built that plant across the water. Shady, secret stuff them scientists were up to. Whatever they were doing, they were right keen to bury it when it went wrong. Listen, I overheard them once, the blokes in noddy suits. The ones that appeared right after the disaster, talking about their quarantine. How they had to seal the place. Said something about an interchange, a secret project. But I should stop talking before I get carried away. Not personal. I can be a right chatterbox, that's all. It's what they chucked me out of the village for, the buggers. Aye? Well, whatever the boffins were up to in that interchange, what's it? I'm sure it wasn't good. This place is riddled with secret bunkers. Or so I've heard. Such things were kept hidden from the likes of us, of course. But look, if you want more, you'd be wise to ask Molly, the tinker. An ear for information has Molly. She's usually camped just north of here. Now, I'm not sure I should be saying out more to a stranger. Aye? Well, I was speaking truth. From a certain point of view. Wyndham's not been civilized since the soldiers moved in. Running the place like prison camp, calling themselves protocol. I can point you to it, but I've no desire to return. You ask me, those that stayed might have done better out here. Now I really should stop talking. Not personal, but you can't trust anyone too much these days, can you? So long. What's yourself around here, aye?
Hello. I don't know you, do I? No, I'm sure I don't. Not seen you around here before. Your lot shouldn't be wandering this far out village. It's safe. That is where you came from, the village. Well, course you're not one of them. You're a stranger to these dales, aren't you? Clear as crystal now I look at you, and I'm good at reading people. It's a right handy skill. Especially if you want to get any good business done. My name's Molly. If you've got out to trade, I've got some bits and bobs for sale. Well, before everything were a mess, I used to be a tinker. Travelling round, fixing things for folk. Sharpening knives and scissors, selling pots and pans. Afterwards, couldn't get stuff off the markets to sell anymore. So I thought, Molly, my girl, you need to become a broker. That's what I do. I sort out deals. And I do it fairly. Reputation's about the only thing worth spit now. They kept what they were doing hidden from us locals, right up until the day the atom plant went bang across the mere. Well, you won't find any boffins left here now, but turns out they've been digging out secret bunkers all over the place. Riddle these hills like woodworm in an old sideboard. I might just know the location of one or two of them. Not that that kind of thing comes for free, you understand. You've met old Nat? He's a good soul, is Nat. Could talk the hind legs off a donkey. Well, any friend of his is a friend of mine. Oh, well, I suppose it can't hurt to give you a little something for free. I heard some outlaws found a big door nearby, one they couldn't get open. Now, only the boffins would have built something like that. They said it was signed, the interchange. It's inside a bunker that overlooks the quarry, if you've been over that way. Here, I'll mark it for you. How's this sound? We do a bit of trading. And here's the thing. I get right gossipy when I'm trading. I bet you wouldn't mind hearing a bit of local gossip, would you? Make a trade, and maybe I'll throw in some information for free. Want to trade again? You know where to find me. If out new comes into me hands, it goes straight in stock. Just saying. It's worth coming back to see. Oh, I feel some uncontrollable gossiping coming on. Pin back your luggoles. You seen the wrecked convoy nearby? Oh, that were a sight when it happened. Big bang, down came the bridge. All the lorries and that came tumbling down like Jack and Jill. Aye, I saw someone come away. They were a ways off, but I suppose it must have been one of the soldiers. They went towards the rail yard. Didn't see anyone else get away though. Poor sods. Outlaws reckon it were them from the woods. The druids, we call them. I didn't reckon they'd know their way round dynamite. Bridge was proper blown up. The druids were all over the place like flies after though. So maybe it's true. Just not heard of them taking on something so big before, that's all. Oh, the crazy folk in masks. They live in Casterfell Woods. If you've not met one yet, count yourself lucky. You need anything, Molly'll be here.
And these wretched weeds. Oh, hello there. You must forgive me. I wasn't expecting visitors today. And, oh good heavens, Jenks should have taken your coat. Jenks? Had him for years, bless him. I'm sure he'll be along shortly. Prudence Rook, delighted to meet you. Welcome to my little corner of the world. I was just looking over the garden. We've rather let it get away from us, I'm sorry to say. Oh no. Busy as Piccadilly Circus around here. There's me, of course, and Jenks, though where that man has got to is a mystery. And you'll see the staff pottering about, keeping our guests happy. We have lots of guests, you see. Scientists, mainly working out or visiting the Bard research place across the mere. We want the house to be a home from home for them. My sister Charity looks after the boffins when they're here. Terribly clever she is. Much brainier than I. I make sure the house is to order, and she hosts them in the conservatory while they discuss their complicated atomic boojums. Oh, it's all terribly hush-hush. Whatever they do, I'm sure it's for the best. She would be able to tell you more, but, well, she mustn't be disturbed. She's busy, you see. The house must be ready for when our guests return. But you have the run of the house, the grounds, wherever you choose. Liberty Hall, as the Americans say. We don't go into the conservatory, though. Not there. But everywhere else. Anything you need, ask Jenks. We can't. There are precious things in there that can't be disturbed. We keep the conservatory locked unless our guests are here. I can only trust Jenks with the key. Which reminds me, I must return it to him when he gets back. Whenever he gets back. Well, good heavens. After all these years, and he just goes off like that. I see. Then you're here as his replacement, then. Well, that's a relief. Go about your duties as soon as you can. This place has become quite a mess. Oh, and here's the conservatory key, Jenks. Take good care of it.
Well, hello! A new face! Come closer, I don't bite. Don't mind me. Everybody knows Mother J go around here. I mean no harm. Folks that find their way to me are usually in need of something. What's on your mind, dear? Perhaps I can help. Oh, you found it! Lovely. Sorry, the directions were a bit vague. I have to keep my head down, you see. Certain soldier types from the village don't take kindly to more, let's say, traditional practices. Town-bred, you see. I provide remedies and tonics where I can to those that most need them. And I can offer some other supplies, too. Have a browse, if you like. Oh, I used to live in the village. That was until the soldiers moved in and started playing silly beggars. I left before they could chuck me in that jail of theirs. Made this my home soon after. But I like it here. You're closer to the earth in this place. Never felt any great urge to go back to Wyndham. Still getting the hang of these woods, eh? Well, maybe I can help you with that. Like the rest of the zone, we've got our share of outlaws and things that bite and sting if you get too close. Then there are the druids, the mask wearers, out in the thickest part of the woods. They've set up a little camp there in the ruins of the old castle. They hear what they call the voice in the soil and, well, worship it, I suppose you'd say. The soil speaks to those who listen. It has spoken louder since all the ructions over at that atom factory the scientists built. Ah, those fools did something. The voice is upset because of it. That's what the druids say. You understand. Listen. A curious soul like yours. Perhaps you are interested in a deeper understanding of this place. I can offer you that. If, in exchange, you would help me with a small matter. The druids have something of mine, my herbalism book. I'd like it back. Nothing worth killing over, you understand? But I would like it back. They probably got it stowed away somewhere in their castle. Take care, won't you? Pleasure to see you again, dear. Well, well, I'll be honest. You ask anyone to help you round here, and the chances of ever seeing them alive again are not wonderful. Very pleased you're an exception, dear. Please take this, a token of my gratitude. It's a sort of learning juice made by the scientists. You can sometimes find it in their old bunkers. Not much good came of those boffins and their science, but this stuff is marvellous. It opens the mind, you see. Of course, a fair trade in compensation is one thing I can offer. But listen, what is it you need? Truly need? Perhaps an escape from all this suffering? You are a curious soul, aren't you? I'm pleased. The first step toward escape is understanding. Look, you and I may have more in common than you realize. If you'll trust me, I can send you somewhere where you might find some answers. Something more than I alone can offer. Take this and go to the Speaking Cave. I'll show you where to find it on your map. While you have this, the folk in the woods will let you pass, but only as long as you don't offer violence. There is no need for bloodshed. Leave the offering at the foot of the figure you'll find there. You'll know it when you see it, believe me. I'll admit, I was interested to see how resourceful you were. If you and I are to make any progress together, I needed to know you're more than some outlaw or such. Don't think me some mad woman out for violence. Death for the druids? Well, it matters less than you might think. And as for their religion, it is neither theirs nor mine. It is the earth itself from which we all came and where we'll all return. Do as I tell you and if you are prepared to see, then you'll understand that much more clearly. Take care, won't you? You are closer to understanding now, my dear. Come, let us talk. Well, how do you feel? Why wouldn't they? Nobody likes to see ignorance in the world, do they? Now, are you willing to let yourself understand, my dear? What has happened, what is happening here is no disaster. It's the salvation of us all. A happy accident wrought by the meddling of those foolish scientists. That much must be clear, surely. There's power in the ground we tread, in the breathing earth herself. And it wants to bring all humanity together with the soil. Imagine such a thing. Listen, separateness, you and I, life and death. It is all an illusion. Hard to let go of, my dear, but an illusion all the same. Why not give it up and live in eternal bliss? Look around yourself, dear. Folks steal, they oppress, they kill. It is for the betterment of themselves that they made their heathen technology and severed our bonds with the land. That is why we must give it all up as sacrifice. Their machines, their minds, all that they ever were, all to repair those bonds. The earth gave us life and the strength which lives in us. It is our joyful duty to return it all to the soil. The land needs must breathe, and so we breathe our Mayflower lives back into it. That is our purpose. Join us. The earth welcomes those who go willingly. It is the only true path out there. Are you ready to see where it leads? It's difficult for anyone, but give it time. The truth appears as a beautiful garden as the fog of ignorance fades away. Look, If you do one more thing, it may become clearer for you. There's a divine thing under that atom plant. Something the scientists found buried in the soil. They called it Oberon. Ah, the military and their fondness for code names. But it is so much more. And it needs to be fed. We can help it grow and heal the damage that science has done. The Boffins had a hiding place for their work. Perhaps you are familiar with it already. They called it the Interchange. It's been dozing there for 5 years. The voice speaks of it often. Reawaken the Interchange, and you will open the way to Oberon. Ways and means, hints and whispers. But the thing they called Oberon is still a mystery to me, dear. But the soil sings of it, and we'd be fools not to listen. Listen. Windscale awaits you, but first there is something we need. A scientist came to me soon after the disaster, trapped here and still alive, but he was done for. Fading slowly, poor mite. He told me of a secret, that in their laboratories they'd found some stuff. A serum, he called it, that could make the new growth spread like fire. That serum is what we're after. And now you are here to find it for us. Well, that's the joke, isn't it? Scientists made it themselves. You had any of the learning juice they have in the Warrens? That's the very stuff. Only this scientist, he said there was a more powerful mixture of it. Maybe that's what's needed to awaken Oberon. Think of it. Awakening a god who will unite us all. No more wars. No more atom bombs. Not even a crossword. Then take time to think about it. But not too long. But just remember that others lie. Even if they can offer you a way out, you might not want to pay the price they ask. You asked for an escape. There is only one true escape. And it's the one I can give you. When you're ready, I'll be waiting for you here.
Trust Mother Draco. Mother Draco is compromised.